Box to Box NBA Preview, hosted by Ndegz.
Welcome to my 2023 NBA season preview, and in number 29 is the Washington Wizards, the team from the capital. As you guys know, we have our WhatsApp group, Box to Box. I will put the link to the group in the caption below and everywhere. Again, just what I said on the previous episode, this has been 10 years in the making. I'm so glad I'm finally getting to do this. I had hoped it comes out before the season starts, but stuff happens. So we are here. The Wizards finished the 2023 season with a record of 33-47, 12th in the East for a second consecutive year. They have the longest active drought, actually, conference finals drought in the NBA of a number of years. Then some of the key things that stood out from them last year is that they finished 14-30 against teams above 500 last year, which was quite abysmal. They were poor from beyond the arc. They were 21st in the NBA in terms of points allowed, allowing 14.9 points per possession, which to me just shows just talent, bro. It's just. And then they allowed 8 games. They allowed 130 points plus in 8 games. So effort defensively lacking, talent going forward. It was just a bad team. And it's not getting any better because Bradley Beal just left the Washington Wizards. Looking at the roster moves, some of the things they've done in this summer and slightly in front as well, going into last season. Obviously, they acquired Mike Muscala and Danilo Gallinari from the Celtics, Bilal Coulibaly, who they drafted, and Ryan Rollins, and Jordan Poole. They have also acquired Patrick Baldwin Jr., John Butler, Eugene Omoruyi. How can I butcher an African name, surely? Yeah, and then Danny Avdija signed an extension, 55 million, 4-year, 55 million deal, and Kyle Kuzma as well extended for 4 years, 102. And players they've lost, the big ones obviously are Bradley Beal and Kristaps Porzingis, then Amidou Diallo, Devon Dodson, Gabe Kalshel, Malik Fitz, just guys, Michael Foster, right? So yeah, when they traded Bradley Beal, Chris Paul came on, but he didn't really stay there for long, which we all expected, and he was flipped for picks. So the Wizards have quite a number of assets if they want to make moves. In terms of the draft, they had the number 7 pick and the 42 pick. They chose Bilal Coulibaly, who was Wemby's teammate at Metropolitan 92. I think the way you say it is 92. Metropolitan 92. He's a long athletic wing. Then obviously they also drafted Tristan Vukcevic, 7-footer from Serbia, who can defend the rim and shoot from deep. Expiring contracts include Tyus Jones, 14 mil, DeLon Wright, 8 mil, Gallinari's 6 million player option, Mike Muscala is on a team option, 3.5 mil, and Anthony Gill, 2.2 million expiring contract. Looking at their rotation, after all those moves, this is how the team looks like moving forward. Projected starters, we're looking at Tyus Jones, Jordan Poole, Bilal Coulibaly at small forward, Kyle Kuzma, and Daniel Gafford at center. Looking at the bench, team names that obviously stand out are Danny Avdija, obviously Gallinari and Muscala, just bring a bit more experience and size. Corey Kispert, who was actually really good for them last year, shot I think 41.2 from deep, if I'm not wrong. That number just glanced me somewhere, and I think that's it. But all I know is that he's an improved shooter. And then we just signed a bunch of other guys: Ryan Rollins, Eugene Omoruyi, just a bunch of guys. Big question for the Washington Wizards. Can Wes Unseld get the best from the young kids? Again, this is just a team. This question will be more or less similar for the teams that are in the bottom half. Not in the bottom half, the bottom 5th, right? bottom six, the last 5 teams in the league in my rankings, because most of these teams are rebuilding. So it's up to the kids to just like do something, right, and build for the future. The reason why I say this is obviously the likes of Kuz and Poole, Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole, like would be great third or fourth options on contenders or really good teams. We saw that with Poole when he won the championship with the Golden State Warriors. But it's up to the kids and to see how the kids will actually do it, right? Someone like Danny Avdia coming off the bench just signed a deal as well, 4-year, $55 million, as I said earlier. He's someone who'd like to see like where he can go to. The thing with Avdia is he's not great at anything. He's a jack of all trades. He can do everything well, but he's not really amazing at one thing, right? He's the sort of person you need in a team like this, where the pieces don't fit and you just need someone who can plug in holes, right? Then last season, obviously, Kuz finished with 21.2 points per game, 3.7 assists per game, and 7.2 rebounds per game. Definitely have to like hit those numbers again. The one thing about Kuz and Poole, these are people who are actually always seeking their shot. They're always seeking for shots, right? They're always seeing how they can score. So how then do you balance like the young kids, the people you've drafted, with the likes of Kuz and Jordan Poole? Then Delon Wright is also someone that I'm really looking forward to see. Very good ball handler. Good at the perimeter. His perimeter defense is actually like he's one of the premier perimeter defenders in the league. So the team just has a bunch of guys, right? Like there's no all-star in this team. It's just a bunch of guys. What can they get out of those kids? So Delon Wright, Danny Avdia, Johnny Davis, and more importantly, Bilal Koulibaly, who they really drafted high for, you know. It's probably one of the least talented teams just going forward. It's just a bunch of guys put together. Like the team lacks identity. So that's more or less what I would like to see. What can the coach get out of this team? What can Unseld get out of the kids, and how can they build for the future? My prediction for the Washington Wizards, I'd say similar to the Detroit Pistons. Detroit basketball. You have to say that every time you talk about Detroit. 25 wins is like their peak, like their ceiling. 25 wins, I'm looking at something, 25 wins. Whatever they get, I still feel they'll be just above the Detroit Pistons. Two of their best players are people who just care about scoring, so not much defense there. So they're going to be involved in a lot of high-scoring games. Defense is just missing, you know. After trading Beal and Kristaps, these guys are now in full rebuild mode. But they have interesting pieces, but the pieces just don't fit together. So, yeah, I don't see them doing much, and I expect them to be one of the bottom teams in the East and in the NBA. And with that, we are done with our preview of the Washington Wizards, coming in at number 29 in my preview of the 23 NBA season.
Ready for the ultimate slam dunk of content? Don't miss out on any of our NBA previews. Hit subscribe and be the MVP of your basketball knowledge game.